Hello and welcome to a daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Tuesday, the 3rd of December 2024, the year of 1 million transactions per second or more. Experience the best of both worlds at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin Wright. Let's see what we got today. We've got Truth Machine writing this article here on Medium saying Bitcoin law and Satoshi's vision. Copa versus Wright appeal petition plus BTC passing off case update and how to be an intervener in the case. So we'll just read through that. Then there's this one with the US government transfer of $1.9 billion in Gradcoin to Coinbase Prime. Find out what's going on there. Oh, there wasn't actually anything there. And Scott was reported here. He goes, someone's just deleted their entire Twitter history. That's in relation to David Pierce. When he threatened Scott, he goes, or else, it looks like the or else was, or else I'll take all of my tweets down since November 2024. Because that's what he's done. But look at this. Now that he's done that, like change.org has actually delisted the campaign. I mean, this is how far-reaching the tentacles of the deep state have. It's pretty shocking, really. And then also look at this. So we've got South Korean special forces storming parliament, the president declaring martial law. People taking to the streets. I mean, doesn't take much, does it? Then we've got just a few articles here from Cointelegraph about BlackRock Bitcoin ETF tops 500k. Should Microsoft, we've got a dilemma, should they ride the $5 trillion BTC wave as Michael Saylor suggests? And then Tezos launching the world's first uranium marketplace. I mean, this is going to be disastrous. All these shitcoin chains trying to give themselves legitimacy by like creating these marketplaces. People are using it. It's a centrally controlled exchange. You know, the token is worthless. It's securities fraud. It's all going to collapse. A little bit, 365 days of Bitcoin history, and then we'll get into the figures as we usually do because they're going to get very exciting from now on. Close that. There we go. This is how long it takes to set up a show. There we go. That's the exchange one that we like. Close. Tether weather, the markets. All right, and that'll be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the terror node, you'll surely see.
Here we go. Right, so this is a 20-minute read. I didn't think it was going to be 20 minutes. Anyway, let's see what this says then. Truth Machine's awesome in his research. It says there is a transcript from this article on YouTube Part 1 and Part 2, and see below. Make sure you follow the links in the article for more information and research. Since my previous post in August on why Judge Mellor got the Copa versus Wright judgment wrong, there have been some interesting updates related to the case. Dr. Wright submitted his permission to appeal later in August, and the court has been processing this and can be seen on case tracker sites here. Great links. Oh, excellent. Another permission to appeal was soon after filed in Wright versus Peter McCormack case. Dr. Wright had won a defamation case against McCormack, but the judge only awarded £1 in damages, which is not seen to serve proper justice for the defamation and the harm caused by McCormack. Absolutely. We don't yet know of all the details and content related to Dr. Wright's appeals in Wright versus McCormack or Copa versus Wright because the documents are not all public. We've only seen small snippets leaked by Copa representatives on Reddit and elsewhere, as well as what Dr. Wright has revealed on his X-Twitter account. Since I've started writing this article, the UK court has apparently now denied Dr. Wright's permission to appeal in Copa versus Wright. Although the circumstances around the judge and the decision to quit problematic, the appeal will now likely be sent to the UK Supreme Court, where these issues will be considered. The problems with Judge Mellor and the appellant Judge Arnold will be discussed later in the article, after we go over some of the other relevant happenings from the last several months. Since my previous article, Dr. Wright has also become more active on X in his new Twitter/X account, S.Tominaga. The content on his X account consists of numerous articles he has authored and has varied from elegant writing, education about Bitcoin and Satoshi's vision, the lies of BTC, poetry, Christianity, law, literary views and analysts, international relations, fiction writing, philosophy, politics, history, and numerous other topics, including the many other problems with crypto culture and the BTC BTC fake version of Bitcoin. Dr. Wright has also talked about some revolutionary ideas to reform our tax system using Bitcoin technology, and says this system is already in development. Such a system, he says, would shatter the bureaucratic mysticism around taxation. And taxation is completely unlawful. There's literally no law for taxation at all, because they're public servants. They can't impose taxation at all. It's voluntary. Dr. Wright also has criticised people like Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy and his idea of a BTC bank. Although the BTC network is broken at a limit of 7 transactions per second and cannot scale, Dr. Wright has also talked about simplified payment verification in Terranode and its ability to scale to millions of transactions per second on the Bitcoin SV network. This is something impossible on the limited 1 megabyte block BTC core network. To learn more about the differences between a BSV and the real Bitcoin and BTC, the imposter version of Bitcoin, I suggest reading my previous article and message to Mr. Trump, message to President Trump and DJ Vance ahead of the Bitcoin conference July 27th, the threat of crypto and the promise of Satoshi's vision for Bitcoin. It is worth noting that Dr. Wright has already been found to be Satoshi Nakamoto in the US court system when he prevailed in a jury trial in Miami, Florida, Kleiman versus Wright, and Dr. Wright was ruled the sole creator of Bitcoin. One of the most interesting revelations since the Copa versus Wright judgment was handed down was a video released by Copa representative on Reddit account showing Dr. Wright logging into Satoshi Nakamoto's Visto Mail and anonymous speech account, which was ignored in Judge Meller's written argument, or in his judgment. See the video below for the passport blurred out. Fantastic. There are also 3 more videos with Dr. Wright logging into the account that show PGP sessions of the site and also the URL bar, but Copa has not released these 3 other videos yet. Along with the very convincing evidence, Dr. Wright has also signed cryptographic messages with Block 1 and Block 9, the very first blocks in the Bitcoin blockchain, for Gavin Andresen, the man Satoshi left as a steward of the Bitcoin project when he receded in 2011. Despite lies pushed by BTC promoters, Gavin has testified under oath that he does not think Dr. Wright tricked him during the signing sessions and that Dr. Wright most likely still has Satoshi's keys. Of course, the Copa side is quick to deny reality and fabricate lies, and they claim that Dr. Wright somehow faked all of these things. First, they claim that since Dr. Wright noted the account name was Asuka, it could not have been Satoshi's account. But navigating the Wayback Machine and Internet Archive, it is revealed that the username and the email must be different on the anonymous speech website, corroborating Dr. Wright's story. Copa representatives are also desperately trying to point to a deleted post by the user named Mike V on Twitter, which claims to have been able to log into the anonymous speech website to recreate a similar page as Dr. Wright published on his blog post in 2019. It is possible that Mike V is also Mike Weber. Yeah, the very owner of the anonymous speech website, absolutely. It should be noted that the Mike V screenshot is different than the one in Dr. Wright's video showing the domain being registered and not just hosting. It is impossible to test Mike V's claims because the website was taken down and no longer exists, and the circumstances around the closing of the site are also suspicious. The Copa group next tried to point to an anomaly on the bottom copyright date of Dr. Wright's video, saying it proves it's fake, which website created by Dr. Wright. But again, Dr. Wright's story is corroborated by the web archive, which also shows the website with anomalous copyright dates on the many pages, and it would be something likely to manifest on Dr. Wright's page since he was using a very old account without new features. Before we get back to the suspicious events surrounding the closure of the anonymous speech website, it should be noted that Dr. Wright revealed on X that in preparation of the Copa trial, he also gave his solicitors the credentials to log into the anonymous speech Sakura account used by Satoshi Nakamoto. Dr. Wright was asked about the video of him logging into the account while under oath during the trial, but it's puzzling why Judge Meller did not mention the video at all in his judgment or appendix. This after Meller had claimed to examine all of the evidence when he ruled hastily from the bench on March 14, 2024. Dr. Wright claims that he was not allowed to waive privilege during the trial to have evidence of his solicitors logging into the anonymous speech account considered, partly due to his diagnosis of autism. These procedural wrongdoings will be important issues for the court to consider in Wright's appeal in the case. The interesting thing in all of this is that the anonymous speech website seemed to be functioning normally until right after Dr. Wright's solicitors logged into Satoshi's account using the credentials they were given by Dr. Wright. But as the solicitors noted, soon after they logged in on their home devices, it seemed to trigger something, and the next day the site was completely shut down and login was no longer possible. It would seem that anonymous speech site owners reacted to the solicitors logging into Satoshi's account on their home IP addresses and devices. Even more strange is that soon after the shutting down, there was a mysterious message left on the anonymous speech website, closing down message that seemed to be a rant against Dr. Craig Wright, saying Craig Stephen Wright is not Satoshi, he is a lost, lonely person looking for real friends. I mean, look, so that's exactly why they shut the site down. That is unbelievable. I mean, why would you even write that? Oh dear, look at that. They want confirmation of who you are. It appears that someone left the message and acted in anger and haste due to the actions of Dr. Wright, but we now know the events were related to his solicitors logging into the Satoshi account. It seems likely that the site was shut down in an attempt to thwart Dr. Wright and his claim of being Satoshi. Further information has also come to light which brings into question the partiality of Judge Mellors in the Copa trial and his relationship with some Copa representatives. For example, it has been revealed that David Pearce, a UK patent attorney who identifies as a cartoon cat, Tufty the cat, has met with Judge James Mellor during the time Mellor was supposed to be writing his Copa judgment. Pearce claims that he was there to suss Mellor out, and he revealed that they talked about Bitcoin, Dr. Wright and the Copa case. Honestly, unbelievable. This is very concerning and is an important issue to be raised during Dr. Wright's appeal. Pearce, who claims to have met Mellor several times, spoke to Judge Mellor at a SIPA event, and there are also videos and photos of them meeting together at the event. Pearce has been revealed to have close connections to Copa and is a prominent member of the RBSV Reddit community, no way, which is used as a forum to harass and slander Dr. Wright and the BSV community of users and entrepreneurs. Surprisingly, Pearce does not seem to know the rules on ex parte communication with judges in a case. Raising further suspicion is Pearce's connection to the law firm Barker Betnell, which has close ties to MasterCard working on patent-related blockchain technology. Now, Judge Mellor has also admitted in a recent hearing that he did meet with Pearce at a SIPA/Copa event, but Mellor denied having any bias. What? That's outrageous. Pearce has denied being a Copa member, but admits to being biased in the case. Pearce seems to schedule his work and his whole life around the Copa case and Dr. Wright. In the web archive, Pearce is listed as an advisor to the Open Crypto Alliance, which seems to have goals very similar to the Copa, the Crypto Open Patent Alliance. According to these videos, Pearce's role was to help debunk patents primarily from Enchain, something which he has admitted to have done in partnership with Arthur Van Pelt, another close associate of Copa. And Arthur has also admitted to being a paid influencer that puts out propaganda against Dr. Wright and the BSV community. Pearce talks more about their relationship in this video and how he used Arthur to initiate legal challenges. Here you can see BTC Exchange funding Pearce and Arthur to take legal action against Enchain patents. God, good for him, he's got all this stuff. BTC is also one of the main defendants of the BSV claims delisting case action lawsuit. Apparently David Pearce seeks donations directly from Copa as well. He said, absolutely, taking more of the patents on will require some proper effort and some money. I'm hoping Crypto Open Patent Alliance might be interested, as they are already fighting CSW on the white paper copyright front. It appears that well-funded interests are trying to thwart Satoshi and his vision for Bitcoin, and they have done their best to influence the outcome of the Copa vs. Wright case. These issues will likely be very important for Dr. Wright's appeal to the UK Supreme Court. As mentioned above, the UK Appellate Court has now denied Dr. Wright's permission to appeal in Copa vs. Wright, with a judgment recently handed down in the Appellate Court by Judge Arnold. There is a video of Gavin Gregory covering the details of that here. Dr. Wright has made his intentions known that he will send his appeal in the case to the UK Supreme Court. Brilliant. Interestingly, the UK Supreme Court was not established until 2009, which means it's unlawful, with the intention of solidifying a separation of powers from the judicial and legislative branch. An important issue related to Dr. Wright's upcoming appeal in the Supreme Court will be issues with bias from both Judge Mellor and trial judge Judge Arnold, the judge who denied Dr. Wright's permission to appeal. As seen, I mean, that's outrageous. Denying a right, I mean, that's a constitutional right to appeal. It's unbelievable. as seen in the video and evidence above. We know that David Pierce and Judge Miller met at a SIPA event seen here while the trial was ongoing, and they have met other times prior to the case where they did discuss Bitcoin. We know that David Pierce has a dinner with judges, including Judge Miller, and we know that Pierce and Miller discussed Bitcoin and Craig Wright when they met at SIPA. We also know that the SIPA website and from interviews with Pierce that Judge Arnold was also in attendance at the event. Yet despite being present at the SIPA event in question, Judge Arnold did not recuse himself when the issue was central to the denial of Dr. Wright's appeal. It does not seem reasonable to assume that Judge Arnold could make an unbiased decision in the case when he was also at the same event as Judge Miller and David Pierce, an issue central to the decision. Arnold also claims that it doesn't matter because David Pierce was not a witness, yet Pierce had admitted in the video on Gavin Gregory's channel and on social media posts that he met Judge Miller on behalf of Blockstream, CEO Adam Back and Copa member, and a witness in the trial. Oh my goodness me, the plot thickens. Another judge, Colin Burst, was also present at the SIPA event and is also friends with David Pierce. Pierce says in a video that he thought Judge Burst might be the judge to deny the appeal, and if Judge Burst was selected, it wouldn't be good news for Craig. It is a wonder how Pierce, someone so close to Copa, is able to have such insider knowledge and communication with potential judges related to the case. Another eyebrow-raising interview is found with Judge Burst in relation to the SIPA event, where Judge Burst says he likes it because you get to hear stuff outside of the context of a court case, and he thinks it's helpful. The interview also notes SIPA attorneys and members said that they never realised how accessible judges were, and that you actually have such candid conversations. All of this raises concerns whether these types of events where judges and attorneys of the industry meet together are ethical. Another post on X has also claimed that the Judge Miller has made comments about destroying Dr. Wright. God, dear oh dear. Craig was never going to get an honest hearing in front of Miller. Miller said he was going to destroy Craig. And that's not something an independent judge would say, is it? Absolutely. Good grief. All of these things, along with the biased tone and language in Miller's judgment, makes this particular branch of the UK court system look very corrupt. As a result of these events, the Bitcoin SV community has now started a petition to investigate the potential judicial bias of Judge Miller and Judge Arnold due to their meetings with David Pierce at the SIPA event and other times prior to the trial. This has triggered panic among David Pierce and the anti-BSV community, and we can see a video here of Pierce threatening a member of the BSV community, 369BSV, who started a petition and has often attended court to report on Copa versus Wright trial proceedings. It is interesting that David Pierce complains about harassment, yet Pierce has been harassing Dr. Wright and the Bitcoin BSV community for years on the RBSV Hate Club subreddit, where he laughs and finds slanderous threads about innocent people and companies to be funny. Next, David Pierce proceeded to dox 369BSV. Yeah, he did. Next, Pierce threatens 369BSV by apparently sending the police to visit him. Oh my goodness me. And the threats from David Pierce continue each day. Now, since these events have unfolded, apparently David Pierce, aka Tufty the Cat, has deleted all of his tweets up until November 27th in an effort to hide his tracks. This does not appear to be the actions of someone who is innocent with nothing to hide since the petition started gaining traction. I've also received violent threats on X as a result of promoting the petition. Users on the RBSV hate forum, where Tufty the Cat enjoys laughing at threads slandering Enchain and their employees, have also begun attacking the petition by adding fake signatures and names, pretending to be members of the BSV community such as myself, and making fake comments by trying to discredit the petition. This shows that the BSV opposition is getting increasingly scared and desperate that the corruption is being exposed. I'm thinking about this. BSV's price, like we're looking at literally what? Top left of the screen here, $72. We're talking about a coin at $72 that's round number like 84 in the cryptocurrency chart against these BTCers, that's got like almost a $2 trillion market cap. What are they so scared of? It's hilarious. I mean, seriously, they delist. I mean, what is the issue? Why don't they go after B crashes? And Roger Ver and all that. What is it about BSV? I tell you what it is, because Craig is Satoshi and they know it. And they may start resorting to violence. The judges could also be under threat from this violence, and Copa members have promoted crypto assassination markets and made numerous death threats against Dr. Wright. If you'd like to help the cause and resist these criminals, corrupt bullies and murderers, then please consider signing the petition about judicial bias and Copas here. Is it there? No! Oh my God, can you believe it? Can you believe it? Shocking. Shocking. Another big development has been the new passing off case initiated by Dr. Wright in the UK against BTC Partnership, and the particulars of the claim for that case can be read here. The claim seeks damages against BTC partners for a sum of £911 billion or 1.2 trillion, based off the difference in market cap between BTC and BSV. It is alleged that the defendants have altered the foundational Bitcoin software to create a derivative product, BTC, while misrepresenting the public as Bitcoin. Such actions have confused consumers, investors, and the broader market, damaging the reputation, goodwill, and market value of BSV, which represents the only true continuation of the original Bitcoin protocol as set forth in Bitcoin Satoshi's white paper. The implication of this being that people have been harmed by the action of BTC Core Partnership, which Dr. Wright argues that under UK law, a partnership can be created by the actions and the conduct of parties involved without the need for formal registration or a written agreement. On his X account, CS Tominaga, Dr. Wright has given some examples of the vast amounts of people that are caught up in the lies of BTC Core Partnership. Yeah, all of that. Despite the risks, BTC partners have decided to ignore the news, and companies like MicroStrategy have failed to warn their shareholders. It is important to note that Dr. Wright's premise for launching the case relies on a principle known as promissory estoppel in UK law. Dr. Wright is not claiming to be Satoshi Nakamoto for the purpose of the passing off case, but is claiming to have relied on the promises that Satoshi set forth when he launched the Bitcoin ecosystem. However, Copa alleges otherwise, and they are now alleging that Dr. Wright is in contempt of court in regard to the previous injunctions put in place by Judge Mellor, which preclude Dr. Wright from initiating any more lawsuits by claiming he is Satoshi Nakamoto. There will be a hearing to resolve this issue of contempt of court on December the 18th, and if Dr. Wright is found to be in violation, he may have an opportunity to amend the language in the claim before it goes forward. As he noted, it was never his intention to be in contempt of Judge Mellor's ruling. You can read a summary of the previous hearing from November 1st in regards to the alleged contempt here. There was a second hearing on November 27th, and you can see the transcript here by Tufty the Cat, David Pearce, who attended the hearing. Judge Mellor has said that he is requiring Dr. Wright to come in person to the December 18th hearing. Despite threats on Dr. Wright, and Mellor will not allow Dr. Wright to attend remotely from outside the country. See, again, attending in a person is a corporate entity. Craig could literally just send in his birth certificate, because that's what Dr. Wright is. Doctor, corporate maritime title, Wright, the surety name. His name is Craig Stephen. That's the living man. Dr. Wright is his corporate enter, which is his person. So they're requiring his person to go to court. Just get somebody to take in your birth certificate. That is all that's required. Because I think they're probably going to cuff him and take him away and try something. I don't think it's prudent or wise at all to attend in the flesh. And Mellor will not allow Dr. Wright to attend remotely from outside the country. This leads some to think that they may be trying to arrest Dr. Wright and charge him through the Crown Prosecution Service on forgery charges, as Copa has been advocating for. David Pearce has also hinted about this in a recent video, saying something will happen to Craig right before Christmas. Is that what he said? No way. One of the issues that the December 18th hearing may focus on is whether Dr. Wright breached the injunction by claiming to upload the white paper to the Bitcoin.org domain in his newest claim. But as Dr. Wright argues, the fact is independent of whether he is Satoshi Nakamoto or not. Dr. Wright has since opened up the claim to other participants to join as interveners. Victims of the BTC partnership can read the claim here and find more information on the Metanet ICU website. Here, where you can read more information and follow the steps to submit a witness statement. Interveners could include people harmed by the broken BTC network and false promise of the BTC partners. This could include businesses, entrepreneurs, miners, developers, or even smallholders that have been harmed by the action of BTC partners and have an interest in the case. It may also be helpful to email the court and let them know you're interested in the case to act as interveners and that Dr. Wright is not directing us on this issue. but that we are doing it in our own initiative. You can email the court at Chancery Judges Listing at justice.gov.uk to help put this to put the case number in the title of your messages. All right, it helps the court to the court your. It helps to tell the court your feelings on this case and Judge Mellor and Judge Arnold bias, and that you're interested in seeing the BTC passing off case go forward. We don't want to see the court throw out the case using the contempt allegations as an excuse. You can also mention your petition about judicial bias in this case. It is also worth noting here that there is a separate class action suit that has been ongoing in the UK for £9 billion against Binance, Kraken, Bittylicious and Shapeshift, and you can learn more about that case at bsvclaims.com. This is great. This is great. You know what? I might actually just continue on with this for the rest of the show because it's 25 minutes. Besides the many points I raised in my previous post about why Judge Miller got his Copa judgment wrong, Dr. Wright has also brought even more issues with Mellor's judgment in light since returning to X-Twitter. For example, Dr. Wright has mentioned the fact that Mellor took it upon himself to imagine what he thought Satoshi would do while refusing to engage with the primary sources involved in the case, like Satoshi's writings. In Judge Mellor's refusal to engage with these sources, he failed to grasp the necessary aspects of the case. The ignoring of these important issues has resulted in a gross miscarriage of justice against Dr. Wright. This injustice also affects those of us who want to use the original Bitcoin system. It just boggles me that nobody has put forward that Bitcoin commoditizes data and this is how it has to be done. If any of those elements are removed, not used, altered and changed in any way, you securitize the system and you remove all contractual credibility and therefore economic value. That is it. What is Bitcoin? And Craig created that. All these other coins are securities offerings. They are economically worthless, which means there is no point in creating them because they cannot economically sustain the system that they are meant to sustain, because the token doesn't have any economic value. That's the end of the argument. Just put that in. I just don't... Is it people that just don't get what I'm saying? What the hell? Dr. Wright has also brought up on X-Twitter many issues that cast doubt on the many so-called independent expert witnesses provided by Copa during the trial, which wasn't even a trial. Independent witnesses, what a joke. For example, Copa's crypto expert Sarah Meiklejohn being seen at a 2015 dinner gathering with many members of Copa and the BTC partners. You can learn more about Sarah's errors as an expert in my previous analysis of Copa versus Wright case. Dr. Wright has also raised concerns about Copa's forensic expert Patrick Madden's capabilities and how he may be employed as a day trader of BTC, which makes his impartiality questionable. You can also learn more in my previous article about Madden's, including some of his questionable comments on the stand outside getting help for Copa lawyers, Bird & Bird, to finesse his final report and witness statement. Dr. Wright on his X-Twitter account also raised concerns about Blockstream CEO Adam Back, as well as Bitcoin.org maintainer Marty Malmy, admitting under oath that they withheld communications with Dr. Wright from the court. Dr. Wright also noted that Adam Back illustrated his complete lack of understanding of Bitcoin and proof of work while under oath during the trial. You can learn more about Adam Back's errors in the stand in Copa in my previous article about the case. This includes some information about Back's failure to understand that Bitcoin uses integer arithmetic and not floating point arithmetic, something you would expect an academic at his supposed level to understand. Dr. Wright on X-Twitter also noted that Marty Malmy admitted under oath to seizing the credentials to the Bitcoin.org domain from Satoshi, which could also be relevant to the Copa appeal. Judge Mellor asked this specifically to Malmy under oath, and a transcript of it can be listened to here. It is interesting that the current maintainer of Bitcoin.org, Cobra Bitcoin, may be a pseudonym for Malmy, and he has made violent threats against the BSV community and has advocated for assassination markets, as I outlined in my previous article. Dr. Wright on Twitter/X has also raised concerns and brought up evidence which points to the possibility of Zcash founder Zuko Wilcox lying on the stand under oath about his interactions with Satoshi Nakamoto. Wilcox had claimed on the stand that he had never received Bitcoin from Satoshi Nakamoto, something that conflicted with Dr. Wright's version of events. Dr. Wright has also had strong criticism of the Copa Council, Bird & Bird. The most serious of these allegations is that Dr. Wright claiming that disgraced former Enchain CEO Christian Ager Hansen had handed over key pieces of evidence to Bird & Bird prior to the trial in a breach of confidence, which Bird & Bird failed to disclose to the court. This will likely be another very important aspect of Dr. Wright's appeal in the case. Apparently, Dr. Wright may have implanted web-stroke bugs into some of the documents to create a digital trail of usage. Dr. Wright has also criticised his own solicitors in the case for refusing to allow him to waive privileges, and for allowing Christian Ager Hansen to influence his solicitors without his authorisation. This is part of the reason that Dr. Wright, who has multiple law degrees, has now proceeded in his cases by representing himself and acting as his own lawyer in this matter, rather than relying on solicitors that could sabotage his case. It is unfortunate the UK court is trying to sidestep all of these important issues and take away Dr. Wright's ability to appeal the case. If the Crown Prosecution Service does push to prosecute Dr. Wright for perjury for forging documents, it will be interesting to see if they could prove such a thing beyond doubt, because the evidence of forgery or wrongdoing in the Copa versus Wright trial was so very lacking. One would imagine that a criminal trial requires a high burden of proof than a civil matter, which makes one wonder if they would actually attempt to prosecute Dr. Wright. Regardless, Copa insider David Pearce seems very happy to think something bad will happen to Dr. Wright before Christmas. Dr. Wright needs all of our prayers and support. If you've not already, then please sign the petition against Judge Miller, Judge Arnold and David Pearce for investigation judicial bias. Also read the POC of the passing off case, and if you have been harmed by these lies of BTC partners, consider making a witness statement using the outline on MetaNet ICU to help with the case. This can even include smallholders who have been harmed. Finally, it is recommended to email the court. Yeah, we've done that. We must act before the December 18th hearing. It is important for the court to know that we as BSV, a Bitcoin BSV community, are taking the initiative on our own. We are not doing it at the direction of Dr. Wright, who is bound by Judge Miller's jurisdiction from encouraging us to participate in any lawsuits. Please share this article and inform us information with as many people as possible. If you like the content of this article, consider sharing the following, and also check out my other Bitcoin related articles. Wow, what an effort there by a Truth Machine. Absolutely awesome. Right, well, that's a 30-minute show, so I haven't really got time to go through this, but that was all about US government transferring $1.9 billion. Scott recognising that Tufty the Cat has taken down all of his tweets. Look at this, and even Kurt has weighed in on this. He said, look, you thought the corruption stopped to the British aristocracy. Remember, we're fighting against people who control more wealth and power than you can ever comprehend. BTC is only one small pillar in their empire of total control. Change, shame on you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Unbelievable. State of the world these days, corruption. Anyway, this is what's going on in South Korea. Special forces are storming parliament, and they said breaking. The president has declared martial law in South Korea. Streets are deserted after his shock television address to safeguard free and constitutional order, that's in quotes there, against opposition parties that he says are anti-state activists. Easily done. These are the people taken to the streets. Something's happening there. Not really going to go through any of these articles here from Cointelegraph because I can't be bothered. We know about Microsoft Dilemma. Well, they're not going to do it because they're part of the cabal. They know what's going on. It's all going to be, if they do go in, it's all going to be for propaganda purposes anyway. BlackRock's ETF increasing. Yeah, Tesla's launching the world's first uranium marketplace on blockchain. What a load of crap. All gimmicks. Literally all gimmicks. Outrageous. 3rd of December. So in 2020, the forget Bitcoin, these cryptocurrencies are surging even more. This is an article that appeared on CNN. Forget Bitcoin, these cryptocurrencies are surging even more. And again, we've got Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse there. What a joker. Figures then quickly. Bitcoin is $72, and again, hash rate and networks are vanity. Transactions and block size are sanity. This is where you need to be looking because Bitcoin is an economic model. Transactions are just 89.12% and block size 95%. Let's have a look at some of these blocks coming through. 227 megabytes. That's the biggest block on there. All right. Hash rate, yeah, proof of work should all be on Bitcoin SV because that's the only genuine one that goes back to the Genesis block. All the others are altcoins. 182,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Gregcoin. Mining Bitcoin at an 11.9% comparable loss. Block size by network, transactions by network, transactions per block by network, awesome. Fees USD just gone up a little bit there. I'm not sure what that's about. Still winning in comparison to these shitcoins. Yeah, block feed to block reward ratio, we'll be monitoring that over the time. The only chart you'll need to find out what's going to happen in the future. Blockchain growth versus network. Global hash rate 7 days. Look at Foundry USA Bull, that's MasterCard. Whoa. Global hash rate 24 hours. Gregcoin hash rate Foundry USA Bull maxing on there 33.3%. Bcrash hash rate other miners 44.4. Fisher Price cash, who cares? And Bitcoin will have to look at mining stats. There we go. Oh, 6 miners on there. Kuv, Tau, QD Link, Mining Dutch, Gorilla Pool, other miners. Wow, looks like competition increasing there. Excellent. Let's have a look at the transactions. 3.8 million over the last 24 hours on Bitcoin. Yep, cross-reference that with what's on chain. Very good. Crypto Quant, yeah, the exchange is still cashing out, even though the price of BTC is going up. Tether Weather market cap, what is this? 134 to 134.7. So, and that's another 600 million. 600 million gone in, so $500 million. Just today, that's what's going to be keeping the market going. Yeah, so what does that say on the month now? 120 to 134, yeah. Whoa. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus Gregcoin. See what's been going on. Look at that. As if that is not... See, look, it's been going up steadily. And then, look, boom. And then an artificial suppression there. It's artificial. You can see it's manipulated. Look. This is what a chart should look like. Just slowly ups and down, and then boom, straight down. Complete manipulation. Let's have a look at that compared to US dollar. Yeah. Up and down. Up and down like a horse draws, as they say. Cross-reference that with Orange Gateway. Yep, look at that. Look at that. No manipulation to see here. Yep, nothing to see here. Just slow growth and then boom, straight down. Rug pull. Let's see what Tether is doing on the market. So it's pushed it up to like about $3.5 trillion fraud now. BTC struggling to get to 100k. So there are actually a few points that people have made here. Let's have a look at this. Look at this. So it said, just in, the XRP Ledger Network is officially congested, associated with higher volume than usual, is a clear signal that the ecosystem is absolutely exploding. Well, it's also a clear signal that the network is a scam because it can't scale. That's the whole point. You can't use it. If you can't use something, if something is useful, it's valuable, something is useless, it's worthless, and the XRP Ledger is officially congested. Look, it's a complete scam. It's absolutely useless. Utterly useless. Good grief. I think there was... Oh yeah, there was a paywall I was going to look at as well. Let's see if I can find this and bring this up as to why BTC is struggling to pass the 100 grand. Let's have a look at this. Here we go. This is what somebody posted. Warning, massive. This is a BTC sell wall at 100k. Well, 15,000. So that there is a $1.5 billion sell-off. A $1.5 billion sell-off. If it were to ever reach that, I mean, that would absolutely tank. Absolutely tank. $1.5 billion sell-off. Like, whoa. Like, no wonder it's sort of like touching it but not getting anywhere near it. Yeah, all-time high, 99,754. 24-hour high, 97,661. 361. Jeepers. $1.8 trillion fraud. And where is Bitcoin? It's down at like 80s now. Look at this. So even though the price has been going up, it was like 74 earlier. Look at it, down at 83 on the charts. 24-hour high, 76.54. 76.54. There we go, and then they're bringing it back down again. We did have I think it was I'm sure it was like a $77 high just the other day, 77.31, which was quite interesting to look at. Yeah, right. So I think that's everything that I wanted to bring up. Yeah, there we go. Right, that is a 40-minute show. Didn't expect it to go that long, but really enjoyed it. Great work there by Truth Machine. Right, so we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, if you enjoyed these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi@Senbi.com, Handcash.io, Simply.cash, Relasia.com, Rockwallet.me, or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.